back to your
I'm not even
dad.
sure if I'm going to have quotes. So to this point.
So hi, welcome to Binge Buddies, Fork the Forking Forkers. I'm your host, as always, Bryan Dressel. With me, as always, is Matt, Zombie Dog, Alexander the Great, Dykes.
I am pretty.
That was
good.
him at one point.
Who gives a fuck? It's a
wish-
broken system.
Is Alexander the Great
this.
a good person?
No idea.
He's
I
a
don't know if
great
I'm-
person. It's in the name.
Fair. And I honestly don't know if I've used these before, but I'm so done on this system.
You
and I
did,
don't
because
wanna
remember
bet-
we had that whole conversation about Rosario Dawson?
Oh, we did. Yeah. Well, either way, now it's Matt. Unless it was
Wait,
Matt
was,
last time.
was Rosario Dawson on the list of best people?
No,
she was in the
Alexander
movie,
the Great
Alexander.
movie.
Oh, all right.
So that means I might have used all these people again, but we're going for it anyways. We also have Ryan Homer Lutens. Not
I'll
that
go.
Homer.
Nope. I'll go
We've,
right the
we've
Iliad
used
and the
that one
Odyssey.
because I made the joke about donuts, I think.
Yep.
Oh, so we definitely use that one. All right, so we'll go down the list way farther for Joel's next one, and Joel
This
will
should
get.
be good. This should be good.
Why
Joseph Stalin DeWitt.
not? No, we get Joel Jacob DeWitt. That might actually be his middle name.
Sorry for making all the noise. Like I'm old man right now. I've got a heating pad on my leg. It's very uncomfortable but necessary. So
Someone's training.
I feel like I used to bounce back quicker.
Yeah, that's age.
Shit.
All right. Yeah. I have not had time to run recently. Joel and I are doing a race in about 3 weeks, and it's going to be a little rough, but I'll get through it.
Sounds
Will
like
you?
Brian's going to win the race.
I'm going to walk a little bit. I'm going to run a little bit, and I'm going to cross the finish line. I'm going to eat a banana. It's going to be a good Saturday.
See, they're doing
that
7
order.
miles. I'm doing 2.
Yeah.
Know your limits, folks.
No.
My wife and 6-year-old are also doing 2, so
Sweet, I'll run with that.
there'll be some good company.
My wife and kids too.
They're doing the 2 as well?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Everyone's running the 2 except for the
You
idiots.
You can babysit Ryan.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
All right. We got some really forking good episodes coming up. I venture to say some of the best of this season. No, I don't know. It's really tough to pick best episodes of this show because they're all so like the highs are so high and the lows
Yeah.
are so non-existent. It's
I was
really
going to
tough.
say the lows are non-existent. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? This is a terrible analogy.
It's not. I made it work.
This might be the consistently best run
Of 4
show
episodes.
that we've done so far, and that's a high praise considering we did What We Do in the Shadows,
Yeah.
which was also a really great run.
Well, until
When
we
we
stopped
stopped.
watching. Yeah.
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 I'm
But
gonna
there's a
say
reason we stopped.
I laugh out loud when I watch this show, but these last 4 episodes that we're about to do, I have not laughed that hard at a TV show consistently in a long time. In a
And-
very long time.
And I just want to, it's not in this week's episode. I don't even think it's in next week's episode. No, it's not. It's not till we get to like 3 weeks from now when we start doing Jeremy Bear Me and like the Ballad of Donkey Doug. But like this show really starts showing its cards as far as like how insanely smart it is.
Yes.
Like over the next 4 weeks, these episodes, the ones that we're recording right now, like they are like the show's writing really shows its cards of like, no, it's a very funny show, but it's also a very philosophical show, and it's willing to go there in an extremely funny way.
This
and
show
it's
has got me
art.
thinking about things. It's
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
It,
The
it's got
philosophy
so
that
much
the
heart.
show starts sort of like weaving in does make you think about things. Like I think he's like maybe the last episode that we're actually covering in this recording block though is where Chidi has his little breakdown of like what each like the 3 types of philosophy, and then he's just like, and they're all rubbish or something like that. And it's just, but he goes into like so much detail about them, and it's
Yeah.
like the way that it's shot and edited together. It's like you think, oh, this is amazing, and then he just like ruins it. Like
Nihilism.
He's turning it into a really good lesson. Oh, wait a minute, he's back in the chili pot.
Yeah. Yeah, that is in that's next week's or no, 2 weeks from now episode. That's in Jeremy Bear Me. Which I love Jeremy Bear Me. But before we get to Jeremy Bear Me, we do have to cover this week's episode. I keep saying like 4 weeks. It's only 2 weeks. I know how to do math. Don't worry about me. I'm
because we do 2 episodes.
okay.
It's because we do 2 episodes of a recording session. So that's what it is, Brian.
Every time we do this, it gets really confused, and this is no different. But here we go. this week's episodes are the Brainy Bunch and the Snowplow. Yet again, I keep saying it, these episodes really blend together extremely well, that trying to figure out which is from the Brainy Bunch and which is from the Snowplow is a little difficult. Not impossible, like, because there's like big moments, like Trevor is only in this episode and it feels like he's going to be here for a while, and by the end of the episode he literally gets flicked out of existence.
Oh, it's so fun.
It feels like
So
it
fun.
feels like that this is going to be the season, like the arc
Yeah.
of the season, and then very quickly it's like, no.
No,
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
I thought we had a villain. I honestly thought we had a villain for the season.
Yep. No, there it
They
goes.
they
Flicked
keep
out of
doing
existence.
it. They
Yeah.
keep doing it, and it's great.
Yeah.
It is. It's like for a show that in the first season had that kind of thing where like a lot of people dropped off because it's like, oh, I know what's going on here. It's all very same and stuff like that. The way that they just keep switching things up on you now, like season 2 and then now in season 3, it's like breakneck speed. It's like I'm almost getting whiplash from like how much it's like changing things up, like, and you just basically like sit there and enjoy the ride, like,
Yeah.
because you cannot guess where they're going with this. Because the minute you start thinking you know what's going on, it's like, haha, no, you don't.
Yeah. And that does break down a little bit next season, but not in a way that disappoints. Like season 4, it's a little bit more linear. It's not as much as like constantly pulling the rug, but it still works in its very own good place way.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Season 4 was the season they knew that was going to be the last one. Because
Yes.
each time it was kind of like, this might be the last one. So we, like, because they were never certain, but like with season 4, it was like, it's going to end.
Yeah,
know
we're going
it's
to wrap this up. And they do it in
Yeah.
like very good place fashion. Not like it drops off or anything. It's just, it's a little bit more linear than season 3, which is just constant like, and we're going to take an extreme left turn this week, an extreme left turn next week, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. But that really starts with the Brainy Bunch. This does feel like everyone's talking about. This is now the season. We have a villain, we have a plot, we're doing this thought experiment, and it all falls apart almost immediately with Trevor there. And it's like, okay, I'm into this. I love Adam Scott. He's really funny. He's clearly having the time of his life playing Trevor. This is awesome. I have like, I mean, I have a lot of notes, but not like critical notes. I was gonna say I have no notes, but no, I wrote like 2 pages of notes.
What's great about the Trevor character in this as well, he's exactly the same as he was when we met him before, but in a slightly altered way. So it's not as obvious that he's been terrible. Like he's doing, like, it's very sort of subtle that he's trying to torture the people and he's trying to be like, you know, a terrible person, like insult them, but he's also trying to make sure that they think that he's still like trying to be friendly with them.
It's
And
toxic positivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Way of
we've
describing
all
it,
known
yeah.
people where it's like they're overly bubbly. It almost seems like an act. They're probably sincere, but I don't want to be around them.
Yeah. And
They're
he's
also
like-
overly excited to hang out as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everyone's ever worked with someone who's just like, hey guys, come on, we finished. Let's go hang out. Hey, let's go hang out. Like,
And there's
no,
that-
I want to go
there's
home.
that-
Fuck off.
There's that scene where he's Eleanor's trying to leave and he's trying to call her and get her to come across, and she's like, "Shove it up yours" or something like that.
Yeah.
He's like, "What?
We shall get a house together. That's certainly an idea.
Yeah, that sounds like a Netflix special waiting
Yeah, it
to
does.
happen.
Yeah.
And then they all started dying one by one.
Oh, Trevor's not going to kill anybody. He just wants to annoy them. If they're dead, he can't annoy them.
That's true. I think they probably started killing themselves to get away from him, though.
That's definitely more likely. But I like his plan, because his plan, his aggressive kindness, his aggressive everything, you can feel it working like as the audience member. Like when he comes out to Eleanor in that, like when they're sitting around the room, is Eleanor, do I have the right phone number? You haven't responded to any of the dank memes I've sent. It's just like,
Oh God. Who?
Like- Adam Scott could just pull off that line so well.
It just the poisoned internet mind that uses that in real life. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
But also wonderful in a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then he has this plan that is basically just to like kill them with kindness, or basically annoy them out of the, how does he phrase it? Like the unpaid volunteered study group.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that hard to do, but I like seeing that, like the Eleanor's growth. She doesn't want to bail on it, even though Trevor is there and horrible. She's trying to figure out a way around it to stay in, like, which is already proving Michael right throughout all of this. Of like, she does want to be a good person, and I really like seeing that in play. But
I think it's
all of
the
it-
evolution we've seen,
Yeah.
like from
Oh yeah.
where she starts out, and then when she does go over there, and it's just her and Chidi, and that they do have the little one-on-one session. She even talks about it in this episode, like saying, "Can we go back to like doing some one-on-one sessions? I'm not good in groups and stuff like that." And I think because of that, she is more willing to stick around. If we'd have like plucked Eleanor from the shopping cart Eleanor, and put her into that same position, she'd have bailed. Like, probably wouldn't have even made it to the restaurant. She'd have been packing her bags on a plane out of there.
Yeah. And so trying to think of where to move from there. Like, it's interesting because I like how much Eleanor is determined to be in there, and I also like how much they don't really care to show the same level of interest from the other people. Like, it doesn't feel like they're wasting time or anything, but like, we don't get like Jason's motivation to stay for, I mean, in the next episode, a full year or anything like that.
I think Jason's motivation is just, there's shiny things.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think that's his motivation for anything.
She's the most invested into the group in terms of like, I like you people. We need this cohesion. She seems much more bent on this is my magnum opus, and we have to work together and figure this out. Tahani's doing it from I need to sort of atone for my selfishness, and this is the way I can do it. And then Jason is Jasoning all over the place, which is good stuff.
That sounds like a euphemism and not a good one.
No, but it also
like
still
it.
works for Jason. Like, I'm good with it. But I also don't want to miss the fact that we get some really good Michael and Trevor scenes in this. Like, Michael and Trevor, like, they play off each other so insanely well. And I honestly, like, you have to credit both actors, like, because you can tell they're the type of people who have chemistry with basically anybody on set, and you put them together and they just have insane chemistry. But their Dick Tracy back and forth is some of my favorite shit. It's so funny.
Everyone's
The
been
great thing is, like, how
the
many times it
Michael in
comes
that
back around.
situation too.
Oh yeah,
Where it's like somebody has that snappy, smart quip or insult, and then you do the whole Costanza, well, the jerk store called, they're all out of you kind of thing.
I've used that so many times. If ever I can't come up with an insult, that's what I go for. Well, the jerk store called and they're running out of you. It works in like every scenario, especially if you're familiar with Seinfeld. Then it works even better. But no, I love just watching Michael flounder because I'm really enjoying his arc throughout this entire season. And right now he's kind of plateaued. Like, there's not really a lot for him to do because we need to let the humans do all the human-y stuff.
Right.
And while they're humaning up, he just basically has to sit there and watch the chaos unfold. And as we're kind of moving into the next episode, he also needs to find a way to make sure that the humans and the quote unquote brainy bunch, we don't really talk about, that's Trevor's name for the study group. It's extremely annoying. I love it. But
I like how the name sticks around though. Like they still refer to themselves as the Brainy Bunch, even like a year later or something.
Which is it. He might be gone. The name sticks. But in the next episode, it leads to Michael and Janet trying to figure out ways to clear the way to make sure that the Brainy Bunch stays together and stays working together. And that's hilarious.
The name sticks. Do the t-shirt stick?
I'm guessing no.
I hope not.
Although you could buy them on like the NBC store throughout the entirety of this season, which I almost
That's
did,
not surprising at all.
and I didn't, and I kind of regret it. But before we get into the snowplow, we got to talk about where this episode goes. Because I need to bring this up. It's a little uncomfortable, but we're going to do it. Matt, did you know that it was Michael's fault for Brexit?
I remembered on this. That's a note on there as well.
That was one of my backup quotes.
The thing is, it's one of those things where, as someone who's gone through, like, was going through the shit at the time, you see that line comes out, and you go, oh, no. I remembered it happened, and now it's like living in that sort of shit ass world, like post Brexit. You just look at it and go, Fuck you, Michael.
So
much.
That entire just when the judge catches them, which I do you guys think they're gonna get caught that fast?
No.
No, and that's the thing. Like,
No.
I'd forgotten. Like, this is the thing. So, like, I had my memory of like the series. Because I've only watched it through once. A lot of my memories stick from the first season and like parts of the second season. When it gets like third and fourth, it gets very hazy. There's like little bits and pieces that I can remember from it. Like the fourth, I can like most of what I can remember is from the last episode, because it's been a while since I watched it. So yeah, a lot of this is like, oh shit, yeah, that came around a lot quicker than I remembered it as well. So this is like what's nice for me is now it's like I've already seen it, but I'm also kind of seeing it for the first time because I don't remember most of it.
Maya Rudolph's the actress.
Yeah.
She kills it every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Every single
and
time.
an angry judge is best judge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Oh
she
my
was
God.
fun at the start, but her being angry and just like wanting to punish them, but being just out of reach, fantastic.
Where she's like talking about like it being the angriest she's ever been, and it's like, and I have been around forever.
the dawn of time. My favorite is, earlier in the episode, I alluded to it when we were talking about quotes right at the start, and they're talking about their powers being gone, and Janet's like, giraffe, typewriter, spaghetti, and none of it shows up. And when she gets back to the bridge, all of that stuff that she said starts showing up, which allows them to escape. And I thought that is genius. They could just, they could have thrown anything, but they literally threw in spaghetti. Like if you notice, there's a bowl of spaghetti that pops up.
Yeah, it's like they bent the hose on all her wishes, and then they let it loose the second she came back into her own and powers. It was really good.
Even the all-knowing judge wasn't ready for this Janet nonsense. And I love Janet trying to explain it to the judge, like, I'm like a printer.
And Mike O'Malley saves him, sacrifices the fraud key.
What does he say?
I love
that's my quote for the episode, but
okay, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
I do love that. I do love the doorman just like throwing the key. And it's so good.
It's a very sweet moment.
And it's like what's great about that is it's like a payoff from the first episode where he brought him the little coffee cup with the frog on it. Like, he's the jumper. Like, and you see he's got the
jumper.
coffee,
You can tell.
he's got the coffee thing on his desk, and it's not really coffee, antimatter. I should say.
Yeah,
there's probably antimatter in that.
Man, and it's Michael O'Malley, right?
Yeah.
This itty bitty part for him, so funny. And like even the and then we'll move into Snowplow. But even when he comes in to tell people like, oh, good, you're all together. The judge wants to see you. So this is Earth. Just turns on a faucet. It's just a tiny part for him, but his delivery is just perfect. It's so good. Anyhow, so moving on to the next part of this episode, Snowplow to me is probably one of the lesser episodes just because it feels a little filler. Snowplow is really just to get us from the Brainy Bunch to Jeremy Bearimy. Like it kind of has a little bit of a purpose. It's not a bad episode. It's just more of a utility episode. Still very funny. Still moves really well. Has a bunch of great quotes, but it is just sort of like, let's get us there.
I think anytime Tahani has a party, I get a little bummed out. And it's not the funny stuff doesn't happen, but it also feels like we're retreading similar ground.
I agree. I was thinking that I was watching it because like the humor when it comes to Tahani, I feel like it's overplayed. Yes, we know that you know a lot of people. Yes, we know you're rich. There's only so many jokes you can make with that. Whereas like you have Jason, the shit that the shirts that come out of his mouth.
Oh yeah,
completely unexpected.
Different Clockland.
Right. And then you've got
this is like the zones of time. No, that sounds stupid.
But like, and then you have Chidi, who, his indecisiveness could take you anywhere. And then you've got Eleanor, who is just such a loose cannon. But Tahani's jokes feel reused.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's an air of pompousness to it that I'm finding out. I'd rather hang out with a dirtbag than somebody who's pompous. I think that's what I'm learning from all this. And
you can say it, Joe. You'd rather hang out with a dirtbag than someone who's British. You can say it.
Fortunately, we've got a whole ocean between us, so that's what maintains our friend.
And Joel's okay with dirtbags from Britain.
Yeah. So maybe you still got a chance. I don't know. You got time to prove yourself.
I am from the north, which is your south,
well,
essentially.
there we go.
What
Are there
just
Confederate
happened?
flags in the UK?
No, but there are people who fly the English flag,
Okay,
which is
because
just as bad.
there are Confederate flags in Illinois, which is very funny because it's a Union state. But Southern Illinois sure doesn't want to believe it.
Yeah, no, they're not a fan of that.
The South shall rise again. It never did here. Go away.
I'm just really into Dixie music.
That's also weird. But anyhow,
Just into
What-
Dixie music and racism and banging my sister.
America.
I-
Anyhow,
somebody clip that
I think
and
I
take
need to
it
get
out
off.
of context. Please.
I need to leave.
yeah, let's talk about Larry Hemsworth. Jokes
I
aside,
Honestly, there was a
this-
moment where I was like, "Is there a Larry Hemsworth?" And I had to
I
look it
looked-
up on IMDb. And
I
it's
looked
like,
it up
oh
too, yeah.
no, yeah, no, that's not actually Larry Hemsworth. I was like,
it's a very funny gag, but this is my thing, like, and my biggest problem with the whole, like, the conversation we just had about Tahani is I agree with everything you guys are saying about the Tahani jokes. They are probably the most played out. I don't dislike them, but in a show where everything is so great, it's noticeable to have the ones that don't quite get there. And I think they gave themselves something with Larry and they don't cash in on it, which is kind of too bad. Like giving her that like counterpart of I'm so with you because you and I are so relatable. Like this whole, like we are way overshadowed by our way more talented siblings. There was something there and it just didn't.
there's one line,
Yes.
one line
Yeah.
in it. They do it once and then they don't revisit, and it's one of those things where you think you are missing out on a lot of good material you could have actually
Agreed.
got out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got rid of him too quickly. I
Yeah.
think they played each other off. They're a great pairing because of that familiarity with their circumstances. I think he is a nice enough character, genuinely nice, seemingly, where you could have played off of his niceness to the rest of the group struggling to be good and nice pretty well.
Yep.
And I think it cuts a little bit of the harshness out of Tahani's commentary out of it. You know?
Yeah. And but I also get like looking at the show and having the foresight of knowing where it all goes. There's not really room for him with what they do with the show. So I get why he's not there, but it is one of those like it's one of like a very unfortunate like casualty of this show of like
It's one of those things that
worked.
what we were saying though is like where you think you know what's going to happen. If it had continued going down that you think you know what it's going to happen route, he would have stuck around longer.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Yeah.
It does that left turn, and you like it just wouldn't fit in the context of that. It's kind of like with Simone, like later on in the next recording session, we'll talk more about that. But she has to kind of go as well.
Yeah.
Because
but
of,
what if
like,
he
where
had
the
wind
story's
chimes for a penis?
See, now this is what I was gonna say.
going. Wait, you were going to say something about wind chimes for a penis?
No,
Derek?
He brought up a character from a previous season. This show handles secondary characters really well. These characters might be in it for a blip, but they stick around with us. And it's one of those things.
The
that,
doorman. Just
Right,
talked
yeah.
about it. Exactly.
Right.
Like these like very small incidental characters, but they leave an
They
impact.
stick around, which again,
Yeah.
we've talked so much about the writing staff of this show, but the fact that you could create a character to drive a plot and have us be vested in them, like my quote isn't necessarily from Mr. Hemsworth, but it is definitely about Mr. Hemsworth, and just because like it just sticks out, and it's the way the character says it just makes it even better. But I really appreciate this show because it's not just focusing on our main six, it's the other characters like the judge, the doorman, Trevor, Derek, Larry Hemsworth, Eleanor's mom, Eleanor's dad. All these characters that come in, they stick with you, and I think that's hugely important.
It just
What I
shows
love about the Larry Hemsworth stuff as well is there's set up a very, very, very sort of like blink and you miss it setup dropped into the Brainy Bunch, where the magazine that Eleanor's reading, the cover, and it's about the loser Hemsworth brother. Like it's got Liam, Chris, and the other
and
one.
Luke.
Luke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the cover, and then it's like, the fourth one is just in the corner there.
Yeah.
Like there's some sort of like thing about it, and it's the magazine that she's reading is the magazine that he thinks that Michael and Janet work for as well. And
Oh,
he's like,
yeah.
saying, "Oh, you just want me to stick around so you can just like, take the piss out of me all the time." Well, no, we're leaving.
There's
I
also
do-
this great moment where I think Tahani's like holding a People magazine or something like that, and it has all the like speculation about their relationship and the breakup.
Oh, yeah.
So that was fun.
Oh,
too.
that's in the episode after the breakup where it's like, it's on the cover, it says something, Tahani said Tatar or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do wish, like in the episode with their engagement party, is that in this one? That's in this one, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
I do wish that we had just enough budget to throw in an actual Hemsworth. Like, it would have been very funny to have, like, obviously they're probably not gonna get Chris, but if they get Liam, like, just to walk by and like, "Hey, little brother," and just kind of pick on him for a second and then just walk away. It
Just
would
give
have
him
been
like a nugget or something.
yeah,
just like...
it would have been hilarious. Not needed. I think the show still works without it, and especially like the whole like my siblings are way more powerful. They're not going to show up to their loser siblings like engagement party. It all still works. I just think it would have been a very good gag.
It would have been great too if, like, when he's leaving, Chris just pops in the door like, "Hey, we got to make our flight," and then just leave. That would have been so.
Yeah.
Or, like,
Hurry
throwing
up!
an
I've got to
insult at him.
record Thor 6.
Yeah.
Or throwing an insult. "Hey, nobody, come on, we got to catch our flight."
Yeah. Or if you like,
Do you know how long it takes to check a hammer?
if we had found out that like Larry was like Chris's like stand-in on set, like, "Come on, they need my stand-in," like just something like that. That's like very demeaning of him. Like, it would have been a funny bit. I don't think it needs it. The show's so good, it definitely doesn't.
No, they're better writers than we are. We're
Yeah,
where we
sure.
belong right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're talking
Ow,
about their
but
great
yes.
writing.
So the one thing
I do like how she described like why Larry becomes in as well, because like she's trying to get close to Jason because she is quote unquote mad horny.
Oh yeah, and I do love the like when Larry comes up. I was gonna move on, but when Larry comes up and Tahani, do you remember me? Yes, I remember. We dated. Oh yeah, just so many people forget me.
Again, my quote is about Hemsworth and how he feels about himself and how someone reacts to it and how it's delivered. So,
The one thing in this episode that we do have to get to, which is kind of a bummer, is this show or this group. Sorry, not the show. The group has to complete their exercise. And to do their exercise, it takes them about a year. And this show really covers that whole year. Like, you see them, they're about to figure out a way to get out of it. And Michael and Janet pull some nonsense. They stay in it. By the end of that year, you find out how much nonsense they've been pulling, which is very funny with like a super board. And I don't remember what all the other stuff, but it's like, oh, wow, you have broken out that snowplow few too many times.
What's great about that as well, because they start talking about, and then we could get them better computers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just like that little line where they just start talking, and then you realize they went and did that as well.
They did everything.
Superboard, activate. It's like, what the hell?
And I like in the next
announcement.
Yeah. In the next episode, we find out how they're able to get that stuff, which was just I don't want to spoil next week's episode, but just the incredibly amazing, or is it next week or is it 2 weeks from now? It might be 2 weeks from now. Again, I'm doing that again. 2 episodes from now. My God. Janet can make anything because she knows everything about everything. So she's essentially the smartest, not a person on the planet. So she can just build these technologically crazy things just because she knows how to do absolutely everything.
You can also find things as well that people have like an expensive watch that may or may not happen next week.
Having the person at the register pull 100 different lottery tickets to find the one.
My God, that is so
lucky
funny.
number 137.
Nope. That one.
138.
Just for point of reference, I don't think they'll allow you to do that. I think
it depends on the employee, but I think they're supposed to. It's part of the lottery. Like, you get to pick if you want to. It's like you get to pick the numbers at Powerball.
That seems too generous for the lottery.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because you're not gonna win. And they know it. That's my guess. I could be wrong. Anyhow, the sad part comes. Group's got to end. People got to move on. And Eleanor is not ready for it. And we get kind of a sad moment of her freaking out and not being really able to handle it. We also do get the amazing, like, Eleanor trying to do like the one last ditch effort to get everybody to stay together with her little speech. She's like, I know we all have important lives outside of here. Well, Tahani and Chidi do. Jason and I are straight trash. And Jason's just, caw.
But it's Michael's fault because he inserts the idea in her head that she needs to have this big gesture to save the day, which is very Michael if you think about it.
It is.
But
Oh, for
very
sure.
wrong. Very wrong in the circumstance.
Yeah.
Extremely wrong. And it doesn't work because that's not how life works. So like they're literally at the end of their ability to snowplow. They have to let the humans go be humans now and see if they can naturally get into the good place. In a lesser show, this could be a finale. This could be a question mark of like, I guess is where we're going. Not this show. No, this show's going to deal with it in a very different way. Did you guys have a guess where this was going?
No, it completely came out of left field for me that they would be caught with the interdimensional door.
Yeah.
This show continues to surprise me. I was not
Okay.
expecting that. I thought Michael's was going to be, maybe that's something that they could have done as a way to bridge season 3 and 4 with the cliffhanger, but no, we're getting it right smack dab at the start of the season.
It's like,
And I
what,
think
episode 3 at this
Yeah,
point?
and I think
Yeah.
I think that adds a unique dynamic for the rest of the show because now we have 9 episodes left, so I think it's going to play out a little bit differently.
Yeah, and it does. We'll find out next week when we get into Jeremy Bearimy, but it does. But the reveal of the door, like, it feels, again, as Joel just said, it feels very Michael. Things didn't work. How can I reboot this? And that's what
I
he's
like
trying
as
to
well
figure
with
out.
like one of his backup plans. I think he's been talking, like, hanging around with Jason too much because his backup plan is just arson.
Yeah.
Or
It's
killing
like 5
them.
different arson plans. It's like, with that little blowtorch thing.
Called arson. It's pretty great. But the moment with like he sells Janet on it, like, we need to do something. Everything is about getting these 4 humans into the good place. We can get to the judges' chambers, figure out how to reset the timeline again, make it work. And they open the door, and you have Eleanor's, what the hell is that? Such a great moment. Just, oh, hey guys.
I love how even now, inadvertently, Eleanor is almost always the person that catches them and figures out there's something wrong.
When Jason got it once.
Yeah.
That one hurt though.
I mean, it just that one that takes me back to the door was open and I just came in. Did you say we're in the bad place?
I also like the
132. I have locked the door.
eyes the door again, just making sure. All right. So we just covered 2 rather jam-packed episodes. Did I miss anything that we wanted to make sure we talked about? That silence makes me feel like I did my job.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Either
so
that or we're
much in there,
neglecting
like-
our jobs of correcting you.
I'm fine with that. That makes it look like I'm doing my job.
No, see, I tried doing that and it came back and bit me in the ass, so I'm just shutting my mouth.
Yeah, we had some pre-show where I got handed a pretty
I got to be right
big
for
dose
once.
of medicine.
I don't get to be right very
not-
often.
I'm not proud of that.
I'm extremely proud of it.
I mean, there's one of my notes that I've just put there that we didn't mention about Tahan in the first episode. Tahani handing in everyone apology notes and then apologizing that she was unable to find a calligrapher at 5 a.m.
No. There's another word in there that made it way funnier. A proper calligrapher, which makes you think she found a calligrapher. It just wasn't the right one.
That's true. It's an amateur one, not a
Yeah.
professional.
Etsy person, get out of here.
That or Fiverr. Maybe it was Fiverr.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, real cheap.
Hey man, Fiverr got us some theme songs for this show. Not the one we're currently using, but some of the older ones we got off
Mhm.
Fiverr. Quotes? Ready for quotes?
Sure.
Yep.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna go first just because I don't think I have in a while. So my quote from the Brainy Bunch is not the funniest quote, but it's kind of like we do this every now and then. It's a solid line, and it just for me it just worked really well. It paid off how much the doorman has been growing to enjoy Michael. They have their moment to get away. The doorman, he looks at the doorman with like this pleading look on his face, doesn't say anything, and the doorman throws in the key and goes, "Good luck, Frogman. I'm pulling for you."
That's the one, Michael. Oh man, that was good.
And I was about to
It's
have
the look on his face. The
Yeah,
look on
yeah.
his face as well is so good because he's got this wry smile, and it's
Yeah.
just like, and you know that he's fully like, yep, I like you, man.
yeah, I like you. I'm gonna get in trouble for this, and that's okay. And then he doesn't really get in that much trouble. The judge just stands like, they escaped. I know. Circle goes Matt next.
Sweet outfit, Dick Tracy called. He said you're a butt face and he's been plowing your mom. Hey, well, Dick Tracy called me too first, and he said that he was about to call you and say a lie about me that was actually true about you instead. Whatever.
I like Michael's line better. I'm gonna be honest. It's ridiculous, but I'm for it.
So good.
All right, Ryan, that makes you next.
All right. I mean, there's so many good lines in this show, you know, poop hands, whatever. But I love Janet trying to reconcile with the fact that she does not have her powers, and her and Michael are having this conversation. And Michael goes, I'm all out of sorts down here too. I'm bad at lying now. That used to be my thing. And every part of my body is either too wet or too dry. It's worse for me. Ever since we walked through that portal, my knowledge has stopped updating. The instant before we left, a man in Caracas, Venezuela named Raul Benitez was eating a ham sandwich. Did he finish it? I don't know, and it's making me crazy. I gotta find him.
Well, it was like just before that when she starts going through, it's like when Michael's like, hey, how's it going? It's like, not good, Michael. I don't have my powers. I can't some things. Dictionary, spaghetti, jet ski, giraffe. Gah! Look what I've been reduced to. Humans only live so many years. They spend so much time just waiting for things to be over.
So good. But I hope that wasn't Joel's line.
No, you're all good.
Fantastic.
I've got quotes that are Matt length that I'll avoid here. Trevor, I hope we don't see the last of Trevor here, but hey, E-Dodge, get over here. It's trivia night. The first round of questions are all about Logan Paul, and you know how I'm low Dane for life.
Ugh. Ugh. Was he a thing back then? Ugh.
I don't care.
He had to have been.
He still is. Isn't he
Yeah.
about to get into a boxing match with Mike Tyson?
No, Mike Tyson dropped out.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. It
Why
would've
can't
been-
he get into a boxing match with a bear?
That'd
Or
be
two
better.
bears. I'd like that. Two
What?
bears.
One chainsaw bear. That's all I need.
No, that's too quick. I want to see him like torn asunder.
Chainsaws will do that.
Now I'm just picturing King Shark in the Suicide Squad when he grabs the guy. Sha!
Such a good shot. All right, Joel,
Yeah.
you still got another quote to do.
All right. How about? Sorry, Eleanor. Did you say something? No, it's my chair. It's got this weird design. Your chair smells bad. I know. See, another person who agrees it's the chair.
What's great about that as well is they just talked about how that gets you bad place points as well. Like Jenna's like, it's not going well. Because she farted and blamed it on the chair. That's like two bad place points.
Yeah, she can lose a couple points on that. Ryan, what you got?
For part two, or for the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is when we are meeting Mr. Hemsworth, and it's just the way that Chidi delivers his line and the way that Jason really drives home the point of who is this guy. But Tahani goes, anyway, everyone, I wanted to meet Larry Hemsworth. Oh, the legendary study group. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to build up the courage to meet you. I guess you can see why. And Eleanor goes, is he ashamed at having a perfect jawline and 0% body fat? Still can't believe she wants to marry me, a dumb old pediatric surgeon who barely has an 8-pack. And Chidi goes, do you know what you look like? And then, of course, Jason comes in. More importantly, did Miley Cyrus write the song Wrecking Ball about Chris's brother Liam? Can't even say Larry's brother or your brother Liam. It's Chris's brother Liam.
I was really hoping you were going to finish that whole thing out because Tahani has, to me, the best line at the end of that.
Well, then he goes, wonderful questions about my talented brother. God forbid there's a single day when I'm the special one. Oh, honey, you're the special one for me.
No, it's the fixing baby spines is just as important as acting.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
It's the way she says it as well. And
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's way more important.
Way
The way
more
that-
important.
The way that line's delivered is like, it isn't.
to me, it's just cheating the way he goes, do you know what you look like?
And sorry, I've seen the next episode we're going to cover. Cheaty can
Dude,
shut the
does-
fork up.
No joke.
Cheaty know what he looks like?
Does Cheaty know?
They
That's
do
a
a very
hot
Clark
teacher.
Kent Superman thing with him, and it's not fair.
Yeah, they do. And anyhow, Matt, you're before we all go a little thirsty for Cheaty.
That's next episode.
Oh god. Boy, I know how that goes. Not wanting something to end, feeling like your little team is the last thing standing between you and oblivion. At any moment, the universe could just fold up around you and squeeze the last breath from your dying lungs. You're a caterer, right? It's a very competitive industry.
I love Michael floundering, trying to like figure out how to pull the different the different characters out of his ass to try to keep them together. It's every time it's funny.
I love when he's like talking about wanting to do an accent, and Janet's like, "No, don't do that." And then he jumps into it, and you see Janet just kind of like,
I'm waiting. I don't know if it'll happen, but I'm waiting for the moment that Janet is the one taking control and taking the lead.
I don't want to
that
say
look-
anything.
That
I don't want to
look
say
makes
anything.
me concerned.
No.
Um,
It's I'm concerned. I'm going to say something stupid. That's more of
Okay.
the concern. I don't want to spoil things for you.
Okay. All right.
All right. So my quote for this one, it's I had to get something from the judge because she's so funny in every single one of these.
I hope it's on my list. I hope it's the one I'm thinking of.
I'm hoping I wrote it down right. But so we have they get out and she calls them on the magical key.
Yep.
Of course.
I do like that. It's like your
And-
key's ringing.
Yeah, your key's ringing. So he's trying to figure out a way to get out of it. So he tries to throw the key on the ground. Sorry, Judge, you're breaking up. That's impossible. It's a magic key, dick.
She says, "I'm like, I can see you," as he's trying, as he's tapping at his foot, trying to hang up.
Maya Rudolph has some of the best line delivery in, like, I think comedic history, not just in this show, in any show. I can listen to her say bubble bath so many times. Like, that was my text alert for a long time because it was just so funny. I love Maya Rudolph, and yeah, I want more. Anything she can be in, I'm all for it. But we've done it. We've covered these 2 episodes. I think we should do what quotes did we miss? This will be the first
There's
episode.
so
didn't
many
say
notes,
I
like,
thought it was.
There's so many. You really.
All right. Let's see. I think I
This
down
morning
one
I found a
more.
lottery ticket on the ground outside my apartment. I scratched up and I won $18,000. Everyone, apart from Tahani, goes, "Oh wow, that's amazing! Better luck next time." Yes. Sorry. From context, I see that it's actually a large sum of money.
Yep.
The honey's not always bad.
In an effort to age me, I've been fed a lot of old Attitude Era WWF.
Yes.
And there is
Yes!
a line where they're trying to explain what's wrong with Eleanor. The next problem to overcome was us versus them, trying to see the other groups different from ours as equals. That one we're still struggling with. That's why we have racism and nationalism, and why fans of Stone Cold Steve Austin hate fans of The Rock. No, we hate The Rock because he went to Hollywood and Stone Cold keeps it real. So the Rock's fans are the real jabronis.
I mean, after our discussion about The Rock in the Fast and Furious films, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. No.
No.
She's definitely swung me over to Stone Cold Steve Austin. I
Well,
guess.
if I know nobody follows it, and just it gets fed through me through the algorithm. He's just posting videos of him in a barn cat hanging
Sure.
out.
Stone Cold
He's
Steve
living his
Austin
best
does?
life. Yeah,
That
good for him.
definitely seems way better. The line that I missed that I was a big fan of is at the end of that episode too. With I'm the sorry sort of girl. I'm more the I'm sorry your car got keyed because you wouldn't stop talking during John Wick.
Yeah.
Famously, a film that's like dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
Do you just quote John Wick then? Oh no, it's
Fine.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was from the previous episode when Michael is trying to give the comeback, and just the way that Trevor responds is great. But he goes, "Hey, Dick Tracy called. He said that I was right about Eleanor and Chidi have an unbreakable bond." And Trevor just looks at him and goes, "I don't think you understand how that joke works."
I love Trevor. All right.
Oh.
Very quick round of plugs, and we're going to say goodbye. Mine's
I've just
athpod.com.
read the
No, we're going to keep moving. You had your chance. Joel,
After
plugs.
Thoughts podcast, book club, Super GG radio, video games. I don't know. Give us a chance. Or not. Do what you want. Nothing matters.
I,
To
I'm
borrow
now
a
going to
famous
go
line
listen
from
to
Chidi.
Super GG radio.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel moved.
Super GG nihilist radio.
Hell yeah.
Ryan, anything to plug?
You can find me on the Front Row Network.
Cool.
This is the saddest round of
Plugs
plugs
have just got
ever.
so sad. And Matt has a show coming out eventually.
Yeah, at some point.
Great.
We
All
still-
right.
we
You
still
should have said
only-
no, just to get with the theme.
I mean, given how like we've still only got the 2 recorded episodes, we still haven't gone and recorded the others. Like the ones that we missed forgot to record last time. We still it's got to the point where I'm like, need to rewatch those episodes now so I can remember what happens in them. So yeah, it'll come maybe sometimes. Who gives a shit? But maybe I don't know. Might need to have more than 6 episodes in the bag though at this point because I think we recorded the first 2 8 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think you need like 52 in the bank, and then you'll
I think
be
we just
okay.
let's just finish the whole thing. Let's just make sure we do the whole series
There
and
you
then
go.
release them.
Yeah, they perfect. It's gonna take a while,
Come-
but it'll work out great.
It's coming in 10 years' time.
Podcast will still be around.
As long as we are. I mean,
That's true.
yeah.
It's like the millennial hobby.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. Bye.
All right. Go for it.